I recently, spoke a little bit about, I think it's on one of my lives. It's about embracing change. And one of the things about change is, for me, it's forgiveness. That I'm sure that you might have experienced where you've had situations where you needed to forgive someone or you chose to forgive them. But do they get access? Do they get the same access? And this is something I heard some years ago, that forgiveness is granted, but access denied. And the thing is this, do you still give people who have violated that trust, do you still give them the same kind of access? Or do you give them a little bit? Or are you feeling guilty because you chose to tell them no? You chose to set up healthy boundaries. And so when we're declaring that peace in our lives, let me tell you something. Forgiveness, it's granted. And sometimes it takes work to do forgiveness, to give, to say, hey, I'm going to forgive that person. But the forgiveness is really for you because you need that peace. But the access that they had to you before, certainly that has been denied. And that's telling us that we need to build healthy boundaries around our lives. And the moment that you step into it and you feel comfortable about it, it's all good. Because, Maya Angelou said in one of her quotes, and I may not say it exactly how she said it, but it's like, we give people the permission how to treat us. It's like we're teaching people how to treat us. So if we allow people to just show up any which way and treat us and speak to us in any which way, and we allow that, we are telling them that it's okay. However, you got to love yourself enough to say, you know what, that's not okay. And so the peace that I declare that I want and I decree it, that peace, I am going to embrace it. And so, forgiveness. Yeah, I forgive you. But the access you had before, it's denied because I'm claiming my peace. What are your thoughts? Share with me. All right. So anyway, I just decided that I'm going to get ready to do my walk. It's a little bit cold, but there's something that I need for my camera. So I'm going to get it real quick. But guys, this is what I'm saying. Life isn't perfect, but there comes a time when you will have to make a decision on how you want to show up. And creating and building those healthy boundaries around your lifestyle, absolutely. That's the only way you're going to be able to claim your peace. So even though we're speaking about declaring peace in our lives, and we're declaring, we're talking about forgiveness, how do you create those healthy boundaries? And one of the things I had to learn years ago, there was this simple thing, that no is a complete sentence. That no, it's an answer. It took me a while to learn how to say no. So some of you probably have struggled with this, but I'm in a season right now that no is no. Because no is a complete sentence. And when we are creating boundaries around our lives, we have to just know when enough is enough. Because remember, they're saying takers will always take, because they have no boundaries. And sometimes for givers, there's no boundaries around our giving. My goodness. So no is no. It's a complete sentence. Stop, as they would say, period. And building healthy boundaries around your lifestyle. How do you do it? I mean, it's simple things. In your home, that's one of the places that you say, you know what? I want healthy boundaries there. If you have teenagers, my goodness, that's a whole nother story. But there's certain standards that you want, and standards in your life, in your relationship, and how you're choosing to show up. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult in the world that we're living in, people culturally and whichever way. Not to say people have to be rude, and it's not always that. But there's some things that you will have to build those boundaries around it. And like I said, if somebody has violated that trust in any which way by something they did or something something they say, it will change the relationship. And all of us, we have experienced that on either side. Maybe we might have said something, we might have done something, maybe we didn't show up in a way that we should have. And so the trust isn't there completely. And what can you do? Do the best that you can. Get therapy, whatever we need to do, right? I can only speak for myself that, listen, I want to understand. Maybe I did something, and if the forgiveness is given, yes, and then we can move on, right? And some people will say up to a certain extent, depends on what it is, of course. But yeah, I just wanted to say that we're going to build boundaries, just continue to do so. It's a way we could say, well, you know what, I'm grown now. So the things that I used to worry about when I was in my 40s, I don't worry about those things. It's just different. It's almost like there's no filter. It's like sometimes if you've ever, like the seniors that I work with, sometimes they have no filter. They just say what needs to be said, and they're like, listen, I've lived long enough, I can say that. So yeah, in other words, the more seasoned we become, there's some wisdom that comes with it because of our experiences. And so yeah, building those boundaries, go ahead and do them. But there's some things, it is what it is, and feel comfortable, no guilt over here, because guess what? Your girl has been around for a minute, meaning I've lived a couple decades here, a few. Look at me doing the math, right? But yes, get comfortable with yourself and how you're showing up. So yeah, that's my thought on that. Let's discuss it. Tell me a little bit more about you, where you are at this point, and how do you say no? Is no a complete answer, or were you like me who used to say not at this time? Let me know your thoughts, okay? All right, guys, down below, we'll keep talking.